Hi there, and welcome to number 9 in the series on building return loops for Cantrak. This is where we're building this return loop on 3 separate tables. Each table measures 2 foot by 4 foot. We've put them together. We've already laid pretty much all the track that we're going to lay except for the engine facility. And what we're focusing on in this episode is we want to take that removable section and wire it up. So we have to do that. We're going to talk about how we're going to connect those wires into the bus. And there's another section of track that's been laid but doesn't have feeders yet. So I'm going to show you again how I attach feeders to the outside, drill the holes, tin everything, put the feeders on, solder them together, and we're going to go through that. So enjoy. And following this, we're going to 90-degree bend and my 60-degree bend. Oh, I'm going to solder. I better plug in my soldering iron too. And do the same thing on the black one. 90, 60. The idea being when it gets through the layer of cork, it should be hitting the insulated part of the wire. And then for here, I'm just going to drop a piece of wire about that far. Probably going to cut most of that off, because what I plan to do is solder this wire to a heavier gauge wire that'll go through the table. Flux. And then I forgot I'm going to need 2 more short pieces to go from there to there. And then we'll tin these guys as well. Out to here so I can solder them. This is the long one. So that's going to go to the red rail is the outside one. So that means that's a red one. Let's do that again. Okay, now we have all of these wires soldered in. We'll try and fit all of this stuff before we do the next phase. Oh, missing that one. Get in there. Come on, get down there. There you go. And, whoa, that fits pretty close. I got to do a little bit of finagling still, but that's to be expected. But in general, that's fitting. That's all I really wanted at this time, just to make sure I could do that. Alright, last bit is this piece of track through here. I'm going to solder some feeders in about there. Yeah, I still mark where I'm going to do it, which I'll do that one there, and go 1, 2, 3, that one there, and we'll go through that one there, 1, 2, 3, that one there. Okay. Guess I should center this bit. Okay, and let's make sure that those go through. And then bend the wires the way I want them bent. Flux to all of the rail pieces.
tin that side, tin that side, tin in there, tin in there, dip and flux, tin it, dip and flux, tin it. Done with solder. Clean the iron. Now, in this case, reds go to the front. So, this one will be red. This one will be red. And we got a black guy here. And then we've got a black guy here. Down there, the hole that I can never find. Okay, let's see how my reaching is. Ooh. Yeah, I can reach this. So because I can reach it, I will hold it from underneath in the position that I want. And then melt the top. Go. Do the same with the black guy. Red guy. And the last step in here is just to make sure that the, oh, don't like that solder joint.
Alright, for the bottom of the removable piece, it has to be able to connect into the wiring under the table. For connectors, I'm using these banana plugs. So, here, let me just open up this other one. Male-female banana plugs just go together like that, and if they ever get loose you can bend the little piece in there. To make sure that we always set up the reverse loops in the right way and they plug into the right thing, we're going to do two things. First of all, the wires that are dangling, one reverse loop will be like this, the other will be like this. This will then connect into a male on the bus wire. This one will connect into a female on the bus wire. So there's no way that you can cross them up. And the other thing we're going to do is we're going to put electrical tape or paint, a bright yellow and a bright pink or something on these guys to differentiate them. These will be on, I have some 16 gauge wire, so I'm going to use 16 gauge wire, and I'm going to connect that to the feeder wire that's on the bottom of the removable piece, and then this will just go into this. On the underside, I'm going to create another set of these, and I can't use any more than 16 gauge. In fact, 16 gauge is really pushing it. Should really have 18 gauge, because when you take these apart, this here piece, there's barely enough room to get a wire in there. Sorry, a pair of wires. I can do it with 16 gauge, sometimes with a little grease, but I can get 16. I couldn't get any larger than that, and our bus wires are 12. So what I'll have to do is create these, and then when I do, I'll solder the other ends to the bus wire at